Hi there, my name's Jeremy and I'm making a video for the RACI's 100 reactions in 100 days. But today's is going to be a little bit different because I'm not doing a chemical reaction, but I am going to show you the work that I do within chemistry. So I'm a natural products chemist and my primary goal in my project is to take plant material and isolate individual organic molecules. There's a large number of reasons you might want to do that. The one that we're primarily interested in is to find new biologically active and interesting things. But the question is, how do we go from what is over here, a plant material like this Tasmanian native pepper, how do we go from that material to this one individual isolated organic molecule? And I'm going to show you the first part along that journey. So it might seem a little strange, but my main piece of scientific equipment when I'm doing this is this little fella here. It's a simple benchtop coffee machine, completely unmodified, but in a lab instead of a kitchen. And we use this for plant extraction. So I'm going to walk you through the process that we go through. So the first step, once we've got the dry leaf, is actually to use another piece of kitchen benchtop equipment, which is this spice grinder here, or coffee bean grinder. They both work the same way. And we take a whole bunch of that plant material, just dry it up, and I make a mess on the bench all the time, but it doesn't matter because as long as I clean it up later. Stuff that into the spice grinder so that we can grind it up nice and fine. And it's going to be a bit loud for a moment. There we go, that should be plenty. And you can see, when I tip it out, the first step along the journey, we now have finely divided, ground up green leaf material. Now that I've got my leaf material all dry and ground up, I have to measure out the appropriate amount. And we've figured out that with the Tasmanian native pepper that I'm extracting here, we can extract 15 grams of leaf material at a time. So I'm just going to weigh out 15 grams on the balance here. We use the same tools that you would in the kitchen, just to gently pack that sample down. There we go. So kind of looks like making a coffee, except coffee's not usually green. Give that one last little push. There we are. And then load it onto my coffee machine. And instead of collecting it into a mug, of course I'll collect it into a beaker. And in the reservoir at the back there we have water, but mixed with some ethanol to assist in the extraction process. But once we turn it on, it should look pretty much like making a coffee, and we collect 200 mils of solvent to make sure we get a really thorough extraction. You don't do that when you're making a normal coffee because you get all the bitter stuff out that you don't want to drink. But in our case, we want to extract out the maximum amount of compounds possible. So I'm just going to turn that on and we'll watch what happens. Alright, so there we have it. The first step along the journey of extracting chemicals out of plants using a benchtop coffee machine. This one right here. Within the space of maybe 5-10 minutes, we've gone from dried plant material to a crude extract. The story to get to the final compounds of interest involves usually solvent extraction as well as chromatography type procedures. But this first bit is a lot more quick and simple and cheap than other extraction technologies. So we've found that the results we get are actually pretty comparable to other results in the literature. In fact, better in some cases. So, cheers. Alright, so for the final part of this video, we finally get to have the actual reaction. But again, it's not a chemical reaction. I have with me Dr. Nathan Kyler, Tasmanian's RACI president. And outside the chemistry building here, we're fortunate enough to actually have native pepper trees. So we're going to find out why exactly they're called a pepper tree. Alright, so here we have the actual berries off the native pepper tree.
It's quite sweet to begin with, and very hot. Peppery.
There we go, peppery.
I think it's Jeremy's.
Oh no, alright.
Oh.
Good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, better give it a try as well. It's not the smallest native pepperberry I've ever seen either. Huh, okay, here we go. Take a bite out of it. Oh, we can see a lovely purple colour there. And, well, he was right. It starts very sweet, but they're definitely called pepper for a reason. That's very, very, very spicy. A very unique spicy flavour though, so there we are. So I've been Jeremy and this is 100 videos in 100 days with the RACI. Thanks Nathan.
All right.